Right, what a tanker. Rich Clark and Nick Skinner have been here at Wargames Illustrated HQ today, showing us their new game with, yes, that interesting title. So, Tank Warfare World War II. We'd like to know a bit about it if we can. So you describe it as a sort of, almost like a party game, is that right?
I think it's what you want it to be, really. It's got two levels to it. If you want to play it as a fast and fun party game with just 2 or 3 of you on either side, or 6 or 7 on either side, that's absolutely fine. You can play it as a very quick sort of play and throw away kind of game if you really want to, or you can play it from the historical perspective. What we find is that guys kind of start off thinking it's a party game, and then they think, oh, hang on a minute, there's something here about the way that tanks operate and fight battles that's really quite interesting. So yeah, I think it's a kind of, we sell it sort of as a party game, but it's become more than that.
Yeah, it has. I mean, certainly I think it's a question of perspective, isn't it? You know, a lot of people always ask, what do you want in your war game? Do you want fun or do you want history? And you think, hey, let's have both. So it's a game with a load of history and a load of fun, and I think that's a combination that works well.
Because today we've just been playing it with 2 people and 4 tanks, but you can get far more than that of both of those things.
Yeah, I mean, I think one of the most fun we've had with it is a big all-day game with a table 10 foot by 6 foot, 6 people on each side, where everybody's trying their best to develop their tank crew, to get a number of kills, develop their career, to try and reach that point where they become an ace. And the game's very much about creating following the career path of a tank crew, and the great big games with all your mates. Take a day out to do it. That's where you're going to have great fun on an epic scale. But that's true of any big Saturday game with your mates, isn't it? If you want to play it as a normal club night thing, 3-4 of you aside, you're probably going to get 2-3 games in and have great fun.
So 28mm, strictly, or
no,
not at all.
Totally scale neutral. We play tested 15,
Yep.
28. A lot of play testers playing it in 20. A lot of guys just picking up die-cast tanks off eBay in 1/72 scale, where they don't even have to paint. There you go, they're oven ready. Put them on the table. Away you go. So you can play it in 10mm if you want. I'd just change it to centimetres. That's the only difference you're going to have. But it's scale agnostic.
Okay, and tell us a few of the interesting rules that you've thrown in the game. I mean, that's more your area.
Yeah, well, we think it's one of the simplest mechanisms actually that we've created so far. I mean, it's quite ironic that we came up with this game about a year ago, but it's taken us a year to get it to the point where we're happy to let it go. And part of that has been around, well, is it really this simple? Can we get away with it being this simple as a game? So it's a hand of dice. It's dice driven. As a tank commander, I have a hand of 6 dice, and I roll my hand of dice. And depending on what roll I get, allows me to activate my tank in different ways. So, for instance, if I roll a 1, that allows me to drive. If I roll a 3, it allows me to aim. If I roll a 4, I can shoot. A 5, I can reload. And on a 2, I can do something really special, which is acquire my target. Because we know that you can see tanks. If you're wargaming, you can always see where the enemy tanks are. But there's something different about acquiring it as a target, which means your whole team are focused in on the tank. So we take as the focus of the game as being the tank crew in its entirety, and various nuances through the rules allow you to influence your hand of dice. So if you have a fast tank, for instance, you're allowed to change your dice so you can always drive somewhere in a fast tank, because that's a key characteristic. If you're in a tank destroyer, you're going to have going to be easy for you to aim, because that's a key characteristic of that tank. So it's all geared around the hand of dice. It's a very simple mechanism. I challenge anybody to play it for 10 minutes and fail to understand it. It's the basic mechanism is as easy as it gets.
Yeah, and don't forget the 6. When you roll a 6, it's a wild dice. You can turn it into any of the other dice that you want, and that's your influence as the tank commander on your crew. It's the real focus is you've got a big metal box with a lot of noise going on. There's a lot of bullets flying around. There's a lot of nervous people in there, but it's how you as a tank commander manage your tank crew to get the best possible result and defeat the enemy.
And as I take damage, the number of dice available to me will go down. So my ability to do what I want to do starts to deteriorate as I get hit.
Okay, right, good. And Too Fat Lardies is always very good at supporting their games online with forums and appearing in your blog and all that kind of thing. Is the downloads available online and things like that as well?
Yep.
So we've got downloads. You will need a dashboard for your tank, which is just a simple way of recording the kind of factors it has. That will be available for free download as well.
Just to save you looking up in the rules when you do that, what's my armour factor, what's my strike, there you go, and a little space on there. We've got a set of tokens to go with it, which just tells you whether your tank is buttoned up or not, whether your commander's out the top or gone back inside, whether you've acquired a target, whether you're aimed at the target, and whether you're loaded or unloaded. So it's just a neat little place to place your command dice, to remind you how many command dice you've got depending on what damage you've taken, and so that's downloadable. And pretty much what we're looking to do is the rules cover 1940 through to 1945. We've already had people saying, what about Poland? So we're going to produce lists for Poland. We're going to produce lists for, the Vatican City Tank Division. Anything that we haven't actually covered in the rules for the Slovak Fast Division. It's all going to be there, but we're going to produce that as free downloads. The idea of the game is that most wargamers are going to have a few tanks that they can use to play this, so it really is a nice quick game. You can get it on the table and all the support is there, and it's free. So it's not the type of game where we're looking to create a milk cow where we're going to come back to and just keep trying to produce new supplements. Everything's going to be there. It's pick up and play, and all the support there that you're going to need.
Yeah.
Great, all right, okay. Rich, Nick, Too Fat Lardies, pair of tankers, thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you.